All right, now that you've done most of the work by creating your lists, the rest comes easy. And so now you can actually formulate what your meal will look like by picking one from each column. Or if you want to do it true tabletop RPG fashion, roll for it. See what happens. You never know. You might find a combination that you actually enjoy. And so this right here will be your dinner. You can see, for example, chicken breast, veg medley, and then a flavored rice pack. Right then and there, 3 ingredients. That's going to be your dinner. A quick tip on plate mapping. I know a lot of people stress about how much of this they should eat versus that. Keep it simple. Try to do 1/3 of each. 1/3 of protein, 1/3 of veggies, 1/3 of grain. You really can't go wrong with that. Now that we have the 3 ingredients that'll essentially make the core foundation of what our meal will actually look like, now we can add variety by cooking it in different ways, spicing it up, adding sauces to really add variety so that way we can really change things up even using the same ingredients. And so even take chicken breast, for example, you can bake it, you can boil it, you can dice it, pan fry it, grill, etc. There's so many things that you can do with just chicken breast. And the same kind of goes for most of the proteins. And so some seasonings to try on chicken, steak seasoning, taco seasoning might be a little bit of a sleeper. That's kind of my preference. I like cubing it up, pan frying it, and then putting a healthy amount of taco seasoning on it. And then that turns the whole dish into almost like a fajita style dish. Cumin, same thing. Garlic powder and Italian seasonings, always a winner. Italian seasoning is kind of like my secret ingredient. If I don't know what to put on, throw Italian seasoning on, for better or for worse. And so don't be afraid to mix things up. There's possibilities really are endless there. Small note on sauces. Adding sauces can be a great way to add flavor, and they really aren't super calorically dense when you add 1 or 2 servings on. But once you start smothering things in like barbecue sauces and everything, and ranch especially, they can be very calorically dense. So just be mindful of the calories. Look for lighter versions or lower calorie options. I know they make a 0-calorie barbecue sauce. They make a lighter version of ranch. There might be a taste difference there, but I think the cost of having something that doesn't taste quite right offsets the big calorie difference that you're going to have. And so I think it's worth looking into lower calorie options for sauces. So with veggies, I mentioned before, try frozen vegetables. They grab them, like I said, less than $1, right around $1, and you can throw them in the microwave for 3 to 5 minutes, and they're good to go. So one thing I do with my frozen vegetables is I will take them at the bag, pour them in a bowl, and I will put 1 serving of butter in there, and I'll mix it all up. And that does just enough to really kind of nerf the raw vegetable flavor that you might get out of frozen veggies. And it's like 100 calories. And so if you divide that up amongst 3 servings that the veggies make, it's 30 calories. And it really does a good job. That and a little bit of pepper is really all you need. And then if you mix that in with a taco seasoning blend of chicken and then your rice, it makes a really good tasting meal. And it's going to be very low calorie. Now onto rice. Flavor rice packets are quick and convenient. Again, you can get them at the store for just right around $1. I think they're between $1 and $1.50, and they make at least 3 servings from what I've seen or what I experienced. And there's so many different flavors that you can pick from that can really change it up. So you can get something that's a little bit more cheesy, something that's a little bit more Spanish, something that is chicken flavor that goes really well with chicken, obviously. So the trick to this is to not chase perfection. That creates that perpetual cycle of failure that we constantly see, especially around January 1st, where everyone wants to flip their lifestyle completely on its head and go from not working out at all to working out for 6 days a week, and then eating nothing but boiled chicken, steamed broccoli, and brown rice. And then guess what? January 4th happens, and you're too sore to work out. You're so burnt out from everything. You eat an entire large pizza to yourself, and then you're like, well, it's just not in the cards. I'll start again Monday, which happens to be next Monday, which tends to be a month, 6 months, and then guess what? January 1st rolls around, and you're like, I'll do it again. I'll do it this year. This will be the year. When in reality, you can just slowly make small lifestyle changes. And in this case, getting more confident in the kitchen and making simple meals that are lower calorie, higher protein, and overall healthier for you without it being bland tasting and super optimized and healthy and all that other bullshit buzzwords that we hear. This is something that fits you, fits your palate, and is easy to make. And hopefully you enjoyed it. That's the whole point of it, right? The first step, we do a lot of the groundwork. It might take the most time, where we're creating a list of the proteins, veggies, and grains. And you might have to come up with a list of veggies, and you don't like veggies at all. I would say start off with what you can tolerate. Corn, carrots, those are good starting points. And then you can slowly shift to more greener options, like a veg medley, which would have corn and stuff in it. and then broccoli, and you slowly adjust your palate that way. But also a big part of this step, and this step might be the most intimidating, is that you might not know how to spice up. You might not know what spices you like versus what sauces you like, or how to cook things properly. And don't be afraid to experiment. If you have never tried, again, chicken breast with taco seasoning, try it. I really like it. One reason why we did it is because we were getting kind of sick of steak seasoning on the chicken, and we cook chicken all the time. So actually, Tanya did it. She threw on some taco seasoning, and we're like, holy shit, this is actually really good. So you do that with, a veg medley and maybe a tortilla shell, and you got a fajita, and that's your dinner. And don't be afraid to mix things up. You really don't have anything to lose and have a lot to gain, because you get to really learn what your palate likes. And this is where we really fine tune our cooking habits to appease our palates, rather than what the quote unquote healthy cookbook of the month says. And so this is where a lot of the confidence will be gained. And this is where you can really empower yourself to cook meals that you enjoy, that appease your palate, that allow you to live a healthy lifestyle without feeling restricted.